Welcome to our channel, where we explore powerful stories of love, loss, redemption, and life lessons. Please, do well to subscribe, like and comment. This story is a heartfelt confession from a woman who learned through pain and regret the dangers of pride and letting others dictate what should be private in her marriage. I'm sharing this story not for pity, but to help others understand the importance of appreciating our partner's flaws and all. I'm a woman of 45 years old now. My ex-husband and I were together for 6 years before we got married. We were best friends. I stood by him while he finished college and started his career. Our families met, we had a beautiful wedding, and soon after, we welcomed our son, who is now 16. On the outside, we looked like the perfect couple. But behind closed doors, cracks were forming. My husband had a temper, yes, but our real problem started when I began asserting myself in destructive ways. I constantly tried to prove that he couldn't control me. I believed I was right, always. I refused to show softness, thinking it made me weak. I thought I was standing up for myself, not knowing I was damaging my home. Every argument turned into a dramatic exit. I'd pack my bags and run to my family. My sisters would call him, scolding and threatening him. His greatest fear was losing me. He loved me so much to the extent he didn't want us to go apart, but I took it for granted, not minding how he felt. I'd challenge him, saying he could divorce me if he dared. But deep down, I never wanted a divorce. I was just too proud to admit fault, too stubborn to meet him halfway. One day, I pushed him too far. He snapped and hit me. A man who had never raised his hand to me before. He locked me out, and I broke down. I knew immediately I had gone too far. I had emotionally abused him, but the world only saw the surface. My family reported him to the police. He was arrested. His family begged me to withdraw the case. He knelt and apologized, genuinely. I saw the man I had hurt so deeply. I forgave him, and we reconciled. But 3 months later, over a minor issue, I left again. 2 days after I walked out, I got a call. He was in the hospital. My family told me not to go, saying he was pretending. I listened to them. Again. People saw me as the victim. But in truth, I was the one who had damaged the marriage. My pride, my refusal to listen, and my family's interference had blinded me. He was a good man, flawed, yes, but loving and committed. I had taken his love for granted. He recovered and served me divorce papers. I thought it was a bluff. I still hoped he'd beg me to come back. But he didn't. I called him, pretending to be strong, and told him he'd get the divorce because living with him was hell. I wanted him to suffer, to regret leaving. In court, I demanded a share of his property. Then came the shock. He calmly told the court to give me everything we owned together. He wanted nothing but his freedom. That moment shattered me. I saw the extent of the damage I had done. I saw disappointment written all over him in court. This man, who once adored me, no longer had the energy to fight for us. We were officially divorced. Today, he is remarried, he has moved on and built another family with his new wife. And I am stuck, haunted by my choices, abandoned by the same family who encouraged me to fight him. They now mock me. My sisters, once my cheerleaders, are more respected in their marriages than I ever was. I lost everything, a good man, a happy home, and my dignity. I now rely on what my ex-husband provides for our son just to get by. Every day I wish I could go back, take back the harsh words, the pride, the drama, the family interference. But it's too late. To every woman listening, be cautious. Don't let pride destroy your marriage. Not every disagreement is worth escalating. Don't let your family dictate how you handle your home. Sometimes, the fault lies not with your husband, but with the voices you choose to listen to. There are moments in life when we make choices that seem harmless at the time but ultimately end up causing our downfall. I found myself caught in that very trap, unaware of the consequences waiting ahead. Like the Bible says, there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is destruction. Unfortunately, this was my reality. I never once questioned what I was doing. I didn't see anything wrong with my actions or the way I was handling things. Looking back, I now realize how easily I was deceived by my own understanding. I wish, more than anything, that someone had been there to warn me, someone who could have shown me the truth. I thought my family, the people I trusted most, would be my safe haven, but instead, they ended up being the ones who shattered my peace. They became the very ones who tore apart my happiness and turned my life into a spectacle, discussing my failures as though they were the focal point of their conversations. I regret every decision that led to this point, and most of all, I regret losing the one person who truly cared for me. My husband was the best thing that ever happened to me, and now, I am left with nothing but regret because I lost him. To anyone reading this, please, take my advice to heart. Be wise in the decisions you make, and stay vigilant, for not all paths are as clear as they may seem. Learn from my mistakes before they become your own. Understand the importance of humility and reflection in your relationships, especially with your husband. When you're in a relationship, there are moments when you need to apologize, even when it feels hard. Never take the kindness of a good man for granted. Appreciate him, love him unconditionally, and cherish the bond you share. When problems arise, don't be like me, someone who ran to their family at the first sign of trouble in their marriage. Instead, have an open dialogue with your husband. Work through issues together and resolve them as partners, without involving others. Third parties can break your home, often causing more harm than good. Always make God the center of your home, for with Him, all things are possible. I now live with regret, knowing that no one will ever love me the way my ex-husband did. I haven't found that kind of love again, and honestly, I don't know if I ever will. I regret how I treated him and everything I did to push him away. I've learned the hard way that pride, arrogance, and a lack of understanding can ruin a marriage. So, please, humble yourself. Don't let your pride get in the way of true love. Remember that a wise woman builds her home, and to do that, you must understand your partner, support him, and bring peace into your relationship. That I pray that God guides you down the right path, protecting your heart from the same mistakes that I made. Be wise, be vigilant, and most importantly, be loving. Protect your marriage, cherish the good moments, and never let them slip away. Life often teaches us through hardship, but many struggles can be avoided if we take the time to act with mindfulness and thoughtfulness. There were moments when I wrongly accused my husband of cheating, even though deep down I knew he had never betrayed me. Being a single mother is incredibly difficult, and in my frustration, I sometimes lost sight of reality. I often reflect on myself and pray that my son doesn't inherit any of my negative traits. Yes, there are husbands who treat their wives poorly, but that was never my story. If my husband had been a terrible man, I wouldn't have had the strength to be patient with him. In truth, it was the other way around. He showed immense patience, enduring pain I caused without complaint. Looking back, I realized that it was he who held our marriage together when I was falling apart. He absorbed my pain, my words, my accusations, without retaliating. Without shutting down. Without turning away. Until, one day, he couldn't anymore. The one time he finally spoke up, it marked the end of our marriage. I never saw it coming. It turns out even the kindest hearts have their limits, and he had reached his. Now, I live with the weight of that truth. I live with the regret of not seeing him more clearly, of not appreciating him more deeply, of not healing myself before hurting someone who never deserved my pain. And every day, I carry the hope that he might find it in his heart to forgive me, not because I deserve it, but because he deserves peace too. Life continues to teach me. These days, I try to listen more, pause more, reflect more. Because sometimes, the most painful lessons are the ones that grow us the most. I pray he finds it in his heart to forgive me.